Y'all, I am so happy because I've had a great reading week. And I mean, I finished 4 books in 1 week, and that has never happened. So let's get into what I read this week, and I'll tell you which was my favorite and if I like the other reads. So, starting off strong, I finished with Babel by R.F. Kuang. I started it last week, and this was such a great read to get me back into speculative fiction. It also had fantastical elements, per the author's note. I really loved it. The translations were a bit like boring at times. However, she broke me as usual, and I would recommend this to anyone who loves to be broken, have an emotional read, found family, and then there is some somewhat generational trauma. Earlier in the week, I started an audiobook called A Legend in the Baking by Jamie Wesley, and it's the second book in the Sugar Blitz trilogy. And I really loved this book. It was so funny, first of all, because Sugar Babies, if you know, you know. I would totally recommend listening to this audiobook and the first audiobook in the series called Fake It Till You Bake It because the narrators do a really great job of bringing the characters to life. The next read that I picked up was When He's Not There by Z. Renee. Truce and Sanai. They are not your typical couple, and Truce, he does not care. This is a really spicy read, but it's also a really quick read. It's only about 119 pages, and I flew through this book in a day, and that has never happened. I'm sort of intrigued to see where the characters go after this. I feel like I have been living under a rock. And when I say I have been wanting to read this book for a very long time, and I just got it earlier this year, and I feel like I should have read it like 2 years ago. This is All I've Wanted, All I've Needed by A.E. Valdez, and it is so cute. I flew by this book in 2 days. It is the epitome of finding yourself in your 20s and when you're a people pleaser. And the main female character, Harlow, is a little indecisive, but I feel like that's rightfully so as someone who is in their 20s. And being able to see her grow a little bit out of that, but it's still a true part of herself, and that the main male character, Asen, aka Ace, be able to accept that part of her and not get frustrated with her, but to help walk her through that. It was so like just warm. This was a warm read. Those were the reads of this week, and my favorite was All I've Wanted, All I Needed by A.E. Valdez. What have you read?